Go. There we go. We in there. Put that off. Okay, we in there. Hopefully, hopefully my mic gonna be working. Yes, sir. It's gonna be a long little stream. Sure, I might be in here by myself. Might be some people pop in, but I'm gonna be on all night, so it ain't gonna matter. And I'm going live. I'm gonna be going live every day. New channel. I gotta start being more consistent. So that's how we gonna run things. That's how we gonna do it. Be real smooth with it. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff we gotta talk about, so it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night. Got a lot of stuff we gotta go over. Gotta do an introduction for the channel. Whether I get some people in here or not, I'm just gonna chop this up, make some videos out of it. I'm gonna be going live tomorrow. I'm gonna go live Sunday around the same time. We'll do a watch list for some stocks that I'm looking at for Monday. Monday I'm gonna take off for work so I can do this is gonna be my first live trading Monday 9:30 once the markets open up on Monday. They was closed Friday for June 19th. So I already know it's gonna probably go crazy on Monday. A lot of people wasn't able to trade Friday. So we're gonna have some good volatility on Monday. During my introduction, I'm gonna give y'all a breakdown of why I got into trading, and why I'm gonna start to teach what I know already. Even though I don't know that much, still a beginner. I'm probably like 1 year into trading. I made it some good money, and I've lost some good money as well. So we're gonna go over all of that, and we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna break down my goals, not only for my channel, the community. I'm gonna break down my goals just for life, for the end of the year. Some plays that you can put in. If you don't know what stock trading is, or trading, or how the market works, how options work, how it can free you from your job, we're gonna go over that as well. It's a lot of stuff that I just feel like we weren't taught in school. They can really help a lot of people out. A lot of people stuck at 9 to 5 jobs, dead end jobs. A lot of jobs people don't be wanting to work, and it's just an ongoing problem, really. People working these jobs, not getting paid enough, living check to check. Some people are not able to make ends meet. Got kids, health insurance, man, car insurance. Don't let your car break down. There's so many things that can go wrong, so people not prepared for. There's a lot of stuff that I wasn't prepared for. Even though I was in the military, I was still finding myself like certain months living check to check, like, and that's just irresponsible, really, when it comes to finance. But now that I know what I know, and I've been out of the military, even now I'm working regular jobs. It's really opened my eye to see how people been dealing, and how people been going through their life just working regular jobs. Even if you make, it doesn't really matter how much you're making, because some people make a lot of money. Some people make a lot of money, but they're not living below their means. So even if you're making a lot of money, if you're not living below your means, you can blow that money real quick. You see that from NBA players. You see that from people with a lot of money that still end up going broke. You see that from regular people, People, you can win the lottery and still go broke same year. Uh, you can win the lottery and go broke the same year. Like it don't matter how much money you're making. It's really about how much you're spending. If you got a real plan on your finances, if you're you know, when you trying to take a vacation when you really don't have it, things like that. Things like that. We're gonna go over all of that though. And a lot of things that I'm gonna go over on this, especially like as I start this channel, a lot of things that I'm gonna go over, I'm still learning myself. So it's gonna be like a lot of times where I'll make a video or I'll do a live and I'll talk about something, and I might have to go back and be like, all right, hey, um, I don't think that's the way we need to handle that, or update. It can be a lot of updates. Some people make videos and don't update them. You can't the way the way the climate is right now and the economy is not the same as it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Everything got to get updated. Everything has to be, you got to change with the times. It's not the same way. People making money doing all types of stuff, streaming. You can make money doing all types of stuff. Um, the internet. People are making a living doing a whole bunch of. I'm seeing content on Instagram. I'm seeing content on YouTube, Twitch, all these different streaming platforms. People are really making money doing all types of stuff. Whether you agree with it or not, it really don't matter. To be honest, I got to a point where, because I used to be like, man, I'll never do that for no money, and it's stuff that I wouldn't do for money. But it's like at the same time, man, you get to a point where, um, and I kind of understand why people do certain things to get money. When you don't have money, your life just don't feel right. And money isn't everything. And my whole page isn't gonna be about money. I think like 65% of it will be, but in order to really, if you really want to leave something behind, don't. And if you got a child or or multiple children, you want to leave something behind for them. You don't want them when you pass away, you don't want them to be struggling for your funeral costs, for struggling to get you buried, struggling for insurance when you leave. If you don't leave nothing for them, you just creating a cycle of bad financial stability for your family, and you don't want to do that. So that's pretty much why I made this channel. I got a daughter myself, so that you got to find something that motivates you. All right, and that's gonna get into my first topic: motivation. And motivation and dedication, two different things, right? You're not gonna have motivation every day, right? I work out 4 to 5 times a week, and I can tell you right now, I don't be motivated to work out after I get off work at all. I do not be motivated to work out right after you work a long day at work. I do not be motivated to work out. But I'm tell you what I do have. I do have dedication. I'm dedicated to it. I know for a fact that every week I'm going to work out. Even if I miss a day, the next day I do 2 workouts. So you gotta have your dedication has to be higher than your motivation, because you're not gonna be motivated every day. And you probably seen this before. Like you probably started something. You like, hey, I'm gonna do this. And your motivation starts strong at the beginning of the year. Like those people that work out or start their New Year's resolution in January, and as the year goes on, they start fizzling out. It starts fizzling out. Those people, it's not going to be as many people working out in January and February as it is going to be in October, September, right? So your dedication got to be higher than your motivation. Just can't be motivated 1 month, and then your second month and your third month. Eventually, it's going to be some days where you don't want to do what you said you was going to do. You don't want to go work out. You don't want to eat healthy, right? That's something I'm going through right now. I got to, start. I work out 4 or 5 times a week, but I don't eat like it. So that's something that I gotta start putting more focus into, right? So you want to build a routine and a healthy habit of doing whatever you said you're gonna do. If you're gonna start, I procrastinated a lot on making this channel, and like even doing this, I was supposed to do this like I think I put it on my board like a year ago that I was gonna do this, and I'm just now like I made a couple videos. If you go on my channel, I made a couple videos. The start of this month. I mean, that's the start of this year, but I didn't continue making videos. Uh, because I wasn't dedicated to doing it. I was motivated. I motivated myself to do it to eventually make those videos. And and I was playing around with the computer and doing different stuff, but I wasn't dedicated to doing it because if I was dedicated, I would have kept doing it every day. Every day I would have kept doing it. But I didn't, right? So that's my first thing when it comes to anything. And if the as I get more people coming in or more people start coming into my lives, whether you want to follow my channel and follow the stock journey and do that or not, whatever you want to do, just make sure you're dedicated to it. Make sure you're dedicated to it, right? That'll take you a long way. Being dedicated takes you a long way. So many people say they're gonna start something, they'll start it, and that'll be it. They'll just start it, and that's it. Can't do that because you're gonna find yourself having a lot of failed businesses. I started, I think, 4 businesses, well, not businesses, but I've started 4 journeys of saying I was going to do something, but I never did. It's okay to start something and not do it if you find something, but eventually you need to find something that you're going to stick with, though. Because it took me a minute to get to something that I actually liked, all right? One thing that I started that I wanted to do vending machines, right? I wanted to get a chain of vending machines, put them in different locations, and I wanted to run it, and I actually got, pretty close to getting there, but I didn't want to do it anymore. Right. I lost that hunger for it. Right. That's how I know that's how I was able to find what I really want to do. When I have a hunger for something longer than a year or two, that's how I know I really want to do it. That's how I know I really wanted to get into stocks because I do a lot of research when it comes to the stock. I do a lot of research. I need to do more. I still think I need to do more. I do a lot of research. Right. So I tried vending machines for a while. This was while I was in the military. So this was like 2022, 2023, somewhere around that time. I bought a vending machine, had a storage for it. At one point, it was in my living room, and I was just looking for a place to put it in, but I was going in between duty stations, so it was hard for me to find a place. But yeah, eventually, uh, I stopped doing the vending machines. I stopped caring about the vending machines, and the only thing that I was looking into, right after the vending machines, I started looking into ATMs. Now, ATMs is what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to get into the ATM business, but the only thing with the ATM business is uh, you got to be there to take that money out and put that money back in too. So if you working, and you got multiple ATMs, you got to be there. You got to, unless you hire, there's services that'll do it for you, but yeah, that's another thing that I want to do. I want to do the ATM. I want to do the ATM business. That one didn't. I didn't really do that one long either. I really didn't do it. I didn't go to the ATM business that long. Right. Let me see. What else did I have? I tried to do ATM business. Drop shipping was another one that I didn't stay in long. Drop shipping is pretty lucrative too if you know what you're doing. But I didn't stay in drop shipping long. That was probably the first one I did. I did drop shipping, did those vending machine, tried to do dispatcher, and then I ended with ATM. I didn't do none of those. And that's how I got into learning about stocks. First person I think I learned from stocks is Aristotle Investments. If you don't know who he is, go look him up on Instagram. Multi-millionaire, man, teaches the game. Very relatable. Really know what he's doing. Him and Wall Street Trapper, 2 people that I listen to almost every day, especially Wall Street Trapper. Both of them they're right on my style of investors and exactly some good idols that I learned from. Those two people, and then you want to go study the goats. Warren Buffett, just to name one. Warren Buffett, really, I got some of his quotes on my wall. He's like Michael Jordan of it. Like he really like the goat of investing. He did it. He started investing when he was 11 years old. I was 11 years old. I wasn't thinking about no investing. I was probably running around playing soccer or basketball, whatever I was playing. I was not thinking about investing at 11 years. At 11 years old, I think he bought his first stock. I think he bought his first stock at 11, which is insane. You think about it. Even with for you to be thinking about doing something at that age is different. It's different, and that's why we gotta. That's why we really got to start teaching the younger generation. That's what we gotta do. Start teaching the younger generation. Everybody not gonna be LeBron James. Everybody not gonna be Lil Wayne. Everybody not gonna rap. Everybody not gonna hoop. Man, everybody ain't got no voice to sing. If you do, that's good. You continue your career. You know what you want to do. But if not, you got to find something. And even if you do know how to do all that stuff, see, this is the thing about investing. Even if you work, even if you sing, dance, man, run, jump, whatever you do, you still need to be doing some investing. You still want, because investing, your money is working for you while you sleep. So, even the top people in the world, man, Donald Trump invests. Elon Musk, all the top people, trillionaires, billionaires, millionaires, they all invest. They do some type of investing. These people make money while you sleep, you sound asleep, or you at the club, while you standing on them $300 sectionals at the club, and you standing in line. They sound asleep, and they money making money. That's all it is. Their money is making money for them. They ain't gotta work. Their kids ain't gotta work. They invest and they go to bed. They ain't got to. They planning their next trip. There's people out here planning their next trip. You working and you slaving at your job. They planning their next trip. It's a reason they don't teach this in school. It's a reason they don't teach this in school. They don't want us to know. They don't want everybody to be invested. They don't want everybody to be like, hey, I don't really need this job. It got to a point in March. I was up so much. I was like, I don't need this job. I almost about to, and I should have. I was almost about to do it. Almost about to. There's a number that I have, and when my account reaches it, I'm done working. I'll be a full-time investor. I'll be trading stocks every day. I'll be going live on the market every day. I'll be planning my trips. I'll give my daughter an account, and we're gonna go from there. We really gonna be up. We're really gonna be up. But it takes time, though. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. It ain't easy at all. I'm gonna say like this though. Like, all right, we'll go back to let's go back to about let's see. All right, let's see how my investment journey started. It was about in September. I started my investment journey in September, right? So September I started my journey. I was researching stocks and researching stock options and doing all that stuff. I was doing that on and learning about stocks to Aristotle, like I said earlier. I was looking through all his videos, watching all his videos, man, jotting notes, taking notes. Man, every day I'm reading books. I took notes on every book that I read, all the investment for dummies series, read all of them. Well, not all of them, but I read about 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them, candlesticks, man, swing trading, day trading, all of it. Took all the notes on it. And I was, man, when I tell you I was every day, I'm in my books, 10 to 20 pages a day. Well, no, I would do 10 pages a day. Every day I'll do 10 pages until I completed that book. And every page or everything that has some value to it, I write it down. I got notes on top of notes right beside me. So that was like I said September. That was like in May-ish of last year, right? So eventually I create me an account. I'm gonna make videos on all that stuff too, because there's certain things you got to do on your account that I didn't know. So if you make a regular account, you can't trade options. Uh, I forgot what it is on top of my head, but there's something you got to do in your account. There's like a different level. I think it's level 2. You have to apply for it, and it's gonna ask you like some questions, and I'm gonna break all that stuff down in another video, separate video. And once you do that, you gotta wait a couple days. I don't know, I forget how long it took, like a couple days to like a week. Once they accept you for that, and you green lighted on that, you can trade options. I'm gonna do videos on what option trading is and what regular trading is too. I just learned what buying fractional shares is. I'm gonna do a video on that as well. I'm not gonna get too deep into that right now because I want to make sure I have everything right. I want to make sure I don't mislead or say something wrong. So I'm gonna do my thorough a thorough video on that so people know exactly what it is when it comes to optional trading. Options trading, buying shares, buy and hold, long term trading, swing trading, day trading. They're all different stuff. So I'm gonna make sure that I make some videos on those, and we're gonna go through there. So that was in May, June-ish, right? So May, June-ish, I was doing well. I never stopped doing research and reading my books. I'm reading books right now. Uh, so but that's when I started. So May, June, July. So I think around September-ish is when I started putting some real money into it. It had to be September, November. Because it was September, November, because that's when I got out of the military. I got out of the military in September. I started my FedEx job. That was my first job I started. I started in like November. So I put about 3 bands into the stock market. And I did good. I watched my account go down to 2,000, 2,500. I would make like 4,000. I made like 1,000. I'm like, okay, I'm doing good. I'm buying stocks. I'm researching. I'm doing good. So I ran it up to about 4 grand. And that was really good in like my first month and a half. Second month, I did even better. I think I ran it up to about 6 grand. And that's when I was about to leave FedEx. Yeah, I was about to leave FedEx to start my tech school. My fiber school, not tech school, my bad. So I used my GI Bill for my fiber school, and I was about to start, right? So first lesson when it comes to trading. Well, this ain't the first lesson because there's not a lesson that you need to know before this. But one lesson you need to know. Trading during a catalyst is a big event. A big event would be like one I don't think we out of it yet. They did a peace deal for the Strait of Hormuz. Um, but I got news today that I don't think it's going through like it's supposed to, but I gotta do some research on that when I get off here. So I might do it while I'm on here. But a catalyst is pretty much trading when it's a big event going on. And a big event is something that affects the whole market. So I was trading in September, no, like around October, November-ish. I think that's when the government shutdown started. And I was trading during that time. When the government shutdown started, all stocks went down. And I'm just trading normally. I'm a new trader. I'm like, hey, I'm doing good. Shoot, I'm buying and holding. My stock's doing good. I'm cutting them if they get to a certain point. I'm doing good, but I'm still trading though. So there's different times in the market where you shouldn't be trading. You need to like cut everything. Like you should not be trading. If all the markets are in the red, this ain't a good day to be trading unless you put in puts. which is pretty much putting in, um, you pretty much betting that the market, that the stock is gonna go down. So all everything was red. All of my stocks are red. Everything was red. But the type of investor I am, even if I see red, uh, one thing one thing Warren Buffett said, he said never sell stocks. Now, even though he said that, and I know why he said that, you gotta have enough capital to do that. I don't have enough capital to never sell my stock. So I only had $6,000. I ran it up to $6,000. I'm thinking I'm doing something. I doubled my profit. I went from 3,000 to $6,000. So I'm like, everything going in my head. Like, oh yeah, I got this stuff down pat. I really know what I'm doing. So I ran it up to 6,000. The government shutdown hit. I looked at my account after about, I don't know how long it took, but after a little minute, I thought that red was just gonna pass over because sometimes it'd be a day where your stocks are down, but I didn't know because of that government shutdown and that catalyst hit. My account went from $6,000 to 1,800. $6,000 all the way down to 1,800. I was sick. I was sick. But this brings me back down to my dedication. When I talked about dedication earlier, this brings me all the way back. This is why you gotta stay dedicated. Because when my account went down from $6,000 all the way to 1,800, it went down from $6,000 all the way to 1,800. I didn't lose my faith. I'm like, you know what? It's got to be a reason. Every time you take an L, and this is just a valuable lesson in anything you do. Every time you take an L, you need to learn from it. That's really what the L stands for. You need to learn from that because it's a reason that you went through whatever you went through. You take an L in whatever you're doing, make sure you learn from it. So the first thing I said when I lost that money, I said, how did this happen? I started looking at my notes. I started looking through everything. I'm like, okay, this was a point where I should have exited out of all of my plays and sat back and watched. Right, I should have watched when I lost that significant amount of money. I said I should have exited those plays way earlier than I did. I let this go on for way too long. Right, so learn from your mistakes. Because guess what? I did not learn from my mistake, and we're gonna get to it. So that happened in, what was that? October. That happened in November, December-ish, right? I lost that bread. Trying to think, how did I get? Okay, yeah. So I lost that bread. Then I'm still trading. January. Okay, I stopped trading in January. December. Yeah, January. I didn't trade. I forgot what happened. Cause okay, I had my fiber school, my money in there. Yeah, I stopped trading in January for some reason, and I knew what was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. It's happened every time. It's happened 2 times. It just happened recently, and it happened in January. I think I didn't have enough capital in there. Capital. Oh, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. I know what happened. So when I got done with my fiber school, they were supposed to give me a job. I didn't get a job right after fiber school. So because I didn't get a job right after fiber school, I had to take the money out of my trading account and use it for real life. One thing this is another lesson. If you're gonna trade, if you're gonna get really dedicate yourself into wanting to free yourself from your job and you really want financial freedom, you can't be taking money out of your account, out of your stock options account or out of your trading account and putting it into your real account for no reason. If it ain't no real life emergency, don't touch that account. Keep your money in there. I, not being financially responsible and putting my faith that I was going to get a job right after the school, uh, I wasn't. I ended up having to take all that money out of my trading account, and like every other month, I would need it for like rent, bills, groceries, and eventually, I didn't have enough money to trade. So that's what happened in January. I told myself, I said, watch what's gonna happen. This government shutdown gonna end. I don't have no more money. January, these stocks gonna run up. Every stock that was on my board, that was on my watch list, all of them ran up. I watched everybody on Instagram make money. I watched all these stock and investors make money, and I should have been right with them. But because I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I didn't have my finances in check. I wasn't able to do it. So I missed out. I missed out on all that bread in January. I'm telling you, they had a rally in January. They had a good time. I seen everybody throwing money in the air, and I was sitting there. I'm like, you know what? This will never happen again. But I lied to myself because I made this mistake again, even bigger mistake. Didn't learn from that. It's easy to say after it happens, but during the time, it's still some you. This is why I'm going through it right now. This is why I'm going through it right now because I got it's a lesson that I gotta learn. Once I overcome this lesson, it's gonna be up from here, and I think I'm good now. I think I'm good now. So that happened in January, right? So like now I gotta get a job. I gotta, get my money back right, you know, and we're gonna put some more money back in the stock market. So what was my next job? My next job, I worked at this wing spot. So I worked at this wing spot. I made some decent bread. Worked at this wing spot. I'm investing. I forgot how, but somehow I was able to get some more money. I forgot how because I didn't make a lot of money doing that. I didn't make a lot of money doing that. So eventually, somehow I forget how, but somehow I got some more money. So I got some more money, put it in the stock market. Right, same thing. I put like $3,000 in there too. I need to think of how I got that money. I put about $3,000 back into it. This was in March. Now this March, this is where my head really got big. My head got big for real. Cause this was insane how I ran these plays up. This how I know I really know what I'm doing, but at the same time it's still lessons and stuff I need to know. Right? Uh so March, I put 3,000 back into the stock market in March. Uh I think like within a week, the next week, I ran it up to like 10 bands within like when I tell you it was in like I know it was in the same month for sure in March. I ran it up to 10,000. And the funny thing is, I had it on my right here. You can't see it, but right here uh um I have on this paper, I have all of my goals. So within that March, I told myself, I said, hey, I'm going to I told myself I'm gonna have 10,000 by that March. By March. And it's funny because right in that, I think it was in February, it wasn't March. In February, the last week of February, I ran that $3,000 up all the way to 10,000 in February. In 1 month, I ran $3,000 all the way to 10,000. So I'm feeling myself. So now I was so locked in on my trades, and I knew exactly like I was so locked in on my trades because even when I made that 10,000, I was like, it was this one stock. I'll never forget it. AVAV. It's a government. I don't say government. It's like a drone company. Um, and when the war started, this war in Iran started in March, right? Uh, it was like talks about it. They were about to start bombing stuff. They started bombing Iran. I said, ooh wee. Let me get into these defensive plays, these defensive sector, defensive stocks. I said AVAV is a good one. I think I'm gonna run AVAV up. I charted AV. I charted it. I told myself when I was gonna get in. And I'm talking about to the T. I called that play to the T. And that video is up on my YouTube. It's titled like $9,000 play. That's how I got that 10 grand all the way up to 20. Because what I did was I put 3 separate contracts into AVAV. It went whatever level was at, it dipped from that level. So I put in one contract at the level that I thought was gonna go up, it didn't go up. I put another contract at another level, it still didn't go up. And I put a third contract. I said, after this third contract, I'm about to get out in a minute. If it dipped below that third contract, I said I gotta get out quick, because the more contracts you have in a play, the faster it goes down, or the faster it goes up, the more money you're gonna win or the more money you're gonna lose, right? More contracts you have in a field play, remember this, the more contracts you have in a play, the more money you're gonna lose or the more money you're gonna gain. That's very important. Very important. You 4 or 5 contracts into a stop, you better have a capital for it, or you better have a stop loss in. Because if that stop dips or that stop gaps down, well, you lost a lot of money. You lost a lot of money. And guess who that happened to? That happened to me. Because when I won that 20 grand, when I went up 20 grand in March, I really I thought I was on top of the world. I said, and I had just when I got that 20 grand, I was in between my wing stop. I said wing stop. I was in between that wing place job, and I was going to my Granger job. So when I started my Granger job, I'm up 20K. I was thinking about quitting my first week. I said I need to just full time invest. Like, I was so tired of like clocking into jobs. Like my even when I was in the military, I told myself, I said, I'm not gonna be working forever. I'm gonna start my own business one day. I don't want to work. Working is boring. We're gonna break down working. I'm about to break it down in a minute. Working. People normalize it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But we're gonna get to it in a minute. Let me finish this. So I'm up 20K going into Granger. It's a lot of money. I'm up 20K from 3,000 to 20K in probably like a month. That's big. So you can only imagine. So this is where I went wrong at, right? I always set goals, and when you make your goals, make them unrealistic. Like $10,000 was unreal. Well, to me, it was unrealistic because I never made that money in the stock market. I never made over $1,000, 2,000 in the stock market. So 10,000 was a lot coming from 3K. So I made my goals unrealistic, right? And I do that on purpose because you want them. You want to shoot for the stars, and if you land on the moon, that's okay. But you want to shoot for the stars. So my problem was I had a plan on how to get up to 10 to 20K, but I did not plan for having 10 to 20K. Like, like you got to plan for when you get there too. So that's what I failed at. So I planned on how to get there, but when I got there, it's like I got too comfortable. When I got to that 20K, I got way too comfortable. So now I'm like, oh, I got way more capital. So now my patient, one thing about me is I'm extremely patient. My patience is out the roof. Like, I can sit, even if my stock is going down, I can sit there and watch it go down and not be phased by it. And that's my real money. I'm not phased if my stock go down. Like, some people get scared, I don't get scared. I'm a really aggressive investor. Now that's a good and bad thing, right? Good thing is, I'm not gonna cut it early. I'm gonna let it do its thing, because I know eventually, if all the research and everything I did is correct, my stock is gonna go up eventually. Bad thing is if it doesn't, and I'm too patient, my stock, and I don't cut it early enough, my stock will go down to a point where this is a L, this is a loss, and it's gonna happen. Losses are gonna happen in this game, no matter what. But you don't want to constantly be taking big L's. You want to cut them early, right? So I say that to say this: I had that 20K. I didn't plan on what to do when I got that 20K, because I need a different strategy now. I got a lot more capital, so I need a different strategy. So I got my 20K. I got my 20K. I get into about 5 plays. I'm in about 5 to 6 plays. And I'm in these contracts deep too. I'm like, I put some bread into these contracts. So the Iran war, it really kicks off now. Now at first it kicked off, but now they really deep into it. Now they both trading blows. US trading blows, Iran trading blows. This is a heavyweight match. They going blow for blow. They blowing up stuff, we blowing up stuff. It was at one point they said California was gonna get hit with a missile. Everybody was scared. Gas prices going up. Oil through the roof. All of my stocks in the red. Every stock that I was in the red. I've been here before. Now you would have thought that I learned my lesson because this just happened to me in September, October when the government shut down. You would have thought I learned my lesson. But like I said, everything sounds good after it happens, right? So I still didn't learn my lesson. So I'm 20K in, I see my stock dipping. Okay, we at 18K. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm following my strategy to a T, and it's not good because I'm not adapting to what's going on in the real world. My strategy is if this is a good stock, even if it dips, I will buy another contract because when that eventually when that stock recovers, I'm gonna get my money plus some. That's how I got to 20K, right? But now this is different because it's a catalyst again. This ain't normal stock trading. When there's a catalyst, when there's something going on in the world and all stocks and everybody's watching this, you need to act a little differently. You can't have the same strategy. You need to change it up, right? And I didn't change up my strategy. So my stocks kept dipping. Every time I thought it was a dip that was going to recover from, it dipped below that. It dipped again. It kept dipping. Every stock that I had dipped. I dip, you dip, we dip. Every time it kept dipping. Eventually, I'm at like 10K. Before I know it, I'm at 9K, 8K, 7K, 6K. Even after I cut I cut my losses at like 6K. I'm like, now I'm devastated. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. Like my stocks never recovered. And all 5, 6 of them, they all was going down. Right. So now I'm at about 6K. So now I'm trading. I'm still trading. March was a bad month. Because guess what happened right after that? This ain't got nothing to do with stock market, but this what happened right after that. This is one of those times where like when one bad thing happens, then another one comes right after. Right after I lost about 14, 15K, bam, I got into a wreck. So guess where the rest of that money got to go to? So that's how I lost that whole 20K. So it wasn't just all stock market, it was stock market, then real life. So now I'm back down square one, I'm at 0. So I went from 3K, 6K, down to 1800, back to 3K, ran 3K all the way up to 20K in 1 month, then lost the whole 20K. So my account is at 0. I had to take everything out. That was in March, right? So I had to take a step back from trading. Since March, I haven't put in not one option play. Not one. I said, I'm not going back into the trading. I'm not going back into trading until I know my life is straight. I've learned from those lessons. And then I'm going to run it back up. Because I'm not, the next time that I run these plays back up, I'm not losing like I just did. I'm not losing. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm going to lose. So That brings me back to now. I ain't did nothing since then. I did actually a lot. I got about right now in my account balance like $400, which don't sound like a lot, but I know I'm gonna run it up. So I got about 400 in right now, and I got some more money that I'm about to put in. I did some fractional shares last week. First time I ever did that. I didn't even know what that is. Fractional share is nothing but um exactly how it sounds. Like a share is usually you can put in about like a dollar. But with fractional shares, you can go less. So you can put like 0.7 fractional shares in, and you can buy a contract for like $60, $70, which is good when you don't have a lot of capital. So I did that with the 400, right? I did it with, you're going to hear me talk about this stock a lot, especially from now until, I ain't gonna lie, I might hold it for a minute. I might hold this stock for a minute. TTWO, Take Two. This stock is a gaming company. They're the same stock that GTA is under. So everybody knows GTA 6 is coming out in November. Pre-order start June 25th. Is it June 25th? Or June 22nd? Pretty sure it's June 25th. Yeah, pretty sure it's June 25th. So June 25th, pre-order start. The stock already came. Stock already went up. I made like $17 out of it. That was only in fractional shares. If I was able to put options, if I had enough money, well, not I got enough money to put options in, but I didn't have what I did not have. Oh, when I put my money into my account, you gotta wait like 5 to 6 days before you do option plays. So I wasn't able to do it. So I put fractional shares in. The stock went from like 223. Stock price went from like 223 to like 240. So I made like $17. Chump change, but just goes to show you that that stock is about to run up. I'm telling you, TTWO is going to be one of the main reasons I'm going to grow my $400. So by the end of the year, my profit goal was 40,000. Now that's a lot. Now I made that profit goal when I had my 20K. So it was more realistic when I had my 20K. So now I got $400. I'm going to keep my profit goal at 40K because, like I said, we're going to shoot for the stars. Land on the moon, okay, that's cool. So $400. I have to do. I got some growth stocks that I'm looking at. Rocket Lab, ASTS. Who else I'm looking at? I'm looking at Rocket Lab. I'm looking at ASTS. I'm looking at, was it IonQ? A lot of people like SpaceX. I'm not. I'm waiting on SpaceX. I gotta see how they rock out first. I know a lot about SpaceX, but we're gonna get there. Rigetti, SMCI, I like them. D-Wave Quantum, and I like AVAV, I like Red Cat, I like Kratos, I like LMT. These are a lot of those are growth stocks. A growth stock is like a company that it's not profitable yet, right? They probably are in the negative. FCF is probably in the negative. It's that free cash flow. But their potential is what you want to be looking at. What they backlog is looking at. Backlog is how much money they're contracted for. So their backlog is like, say this right, backlog. One of the main things you want to look at when you're looking at a growth stock. A growth stock is a stock that ain't taken off yet, but it's getting there. It's in that phase where it's like it's making some noise, right? Your backlog you want to look at is that's how much money these investors and how much money they're putting behind this company within the next few years, how much money they have in contracts, right? It's how much money they doesn't mean they're gonna make that money, but that's how much money they have to play with to make, right? So if they have, so like for example, I think, let me see one. Somebody got 2.2 billion. One of these stocks. I think Rocket Lab. Let me see. Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab has 2.2 billion in backlog, which means um however long they have for those contracts, if they complete all those contracts and everything goes well, if all of those, launches and everything goes well, they could get that whole 2.2 billion if everything checks out like the way it's supposed to. If they, meet their demands on time, if everything works out the way they contracted to do, they should get that whole 2.2 billion, right? Uh, and that will shoot a stock up if they really build on what they supposed to be doing. Because if investors don't put money into something they don't think gonna work, right? So if you see a stock with a high backlog, that means a lot of investors think that this stock is or that company is going to be profitable as long as they do what they're supposed to do, right? That's what the backlog means. So that's the one thing you want to look at when you look at the growth companies. So I got a lot of growth companies on my list. I got a lot of them on my board, and I did a lot of research on them. So we're gonna get into that tomorrow though. Tomorrow we're gonna get into the growth stocks. Tomorrow we're gonna get into TTWO. Uh I'm going to do some charting tomorrow. I'm gonna show y'all what I looked at. I'm gonna show y'all what worked for me. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna actually show y'all what went wrong. I hopefully I'm able to because I'm not sure how to go live and show my screen yet. I did it on a video before, but I never did it live. I'm not gonna do it now because I don't want to mess it up. But uh yeah, we're gonna do that. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be good. Tomorrow we're gonna get into some real charting. Today I'm just talking about what I'm doing. Tomorrow I'm gonna actually show you. I'm gonna actually show you how it's done. Right? It's gonna be real smooth. We really gonna get into it. It's gonna be real smooth. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's pretty much how stocks. Overview of stocks. There's a lot of stuff I gotta break down for people that probably don't know what I'm talking about or has ever did it before. I have to learn how to break it down for people that like literally don't know what it is at all. Right? Some people get scared when you talk about it because they're like, I'm putting my own money up. I have, and then me, I'm talking about especially me, I know people get scared if they never know what it is, and I'm talking about how much I've lost. You don't have to, if you want to get into making some money investing, you don't got to put a lot of bread into it. You don't have to go crazy if you don't want to. I do it because I plan on having financial freedom. I'm trying to get to 100K. So in order for me to get to 100K, I got to put some real bread into it. If you just want to grow some money, you don't got to go crazy. You don't got to go crazy. You don't got to put 3K into it. You can put $500 into it. You can buy into some if you want a safer option, you don't gotta go aggressive. You can put your money into some ETFs that just go up over time. VOO just goes up over time. You put $500, $1,000 into it, you can get your money back for sure. And some. I don't have the stats right now, but I'm pretty sure it goes up 3 to 5% a year. So you got ETFs, very safe options. QQQ, SPY, VOO, all those. You put some money into it and just let it sit. You good. Oh, you don't want to do it. You don't want to go into a trade. You don't like stop. You don't have an account. You don't gotta go Charles Schwab. You don't gotta go Robinhood, Webull. You don't want to do that. That's okay. That's okay. Cool. But you still want to see your money grow. Uh, Download this app called Acorn. That's when I first started trading. Before I got my Charles Schwab account, I was in Acorn. I put my money on aggressive. I put my settings on aggressive. I put my money in there. I ain't have to do nothing. Money just went up every week. I never lost money in Acorn ever. Money's just going up. what Acorn does is the same thing that I do, but it's an app for it. They invest, but what they do is they invest, they diversify way more than I do. So they diversify over a lot of stocks, and I think they do more than just stocks. They do Bitcoin, maybe bonds, yields, all types of stuff, and they invest your money over a lot of things. And what they will do is, if one sector is doing better than another one, they'll take that money, they'll take your money and put it towards what's going well, which is really what they do. Really smart, right? It's I think it's easy for them to do on an app than it is to do in real time. So that's why their rate of going up is so well. So if you don't want to invest, you don't want to actually do, trading, you just put some extra money into Acorn. Try it for 1 month. I promise you, you're gonna make money. I did it for like 2 months, never lost a dollar. Even when I did lose money, I had already won so much that technically I didn't lose. Because if I had made in 1 month, if I put, like, let's just say, I put 200 in a month or two, if I made 300 to 400, and one day I lost $11, I'm still up, I'm still profitable. And that's just chump change. If you put the more money you put in, the more money you get back. But it depends on what you put in your settings. I put aggressive on there because I don't care. I don't say I don't care, but when I go aggressive, that means, hey, I want you to really give me some money back. You can go conservative, you can go light if you want to, test the waters. But I like to go aggressive. I like to see, hey, I really do this. So that's another thing. That's another thing right now. Acorns. Acorns is a good app. And I only recommend stuff that I do personally. I would never on my channel. I'm not recommending nothing that I didn't do. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna recommend something that I did not do personally. If I ain't did it, I'm not recommending it. I'm not finna be putting people onto something that I didn't do. So when they come back, oh, you said this. Yeah, nah, that ain't happening. So I recommend Acorns app if you want to, if you're thinking, looking into investing, go download the Acorns app, put some money into it, go and go look at the settings, and you know, put it towards however you wanna. If you want to go aggressive, you want to go conservative, however you want to do it, and then you can try to play with that, and you can see how get a get an idea of how investing works. That's a good starter for you. That's how I started, and went pretty well. Went pretty well. But yeah, this was a good stream. This is a good stream. I like how it started. Ah, I kind of already knew it wasn't gonna be nobody in here, but I'm gonna chop these. I'm gonna chop some of these videos in there. I'm gonna chop some of these videos in here. I'm gonna make a lot of shorts with these videos, and we're gonna go from there. We gonna go from there. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. YouTube is not responding. All right, we should be good. We should be good. Yeah. Yeah, this was smooth. This was smooth. I'm gonna chop these up. I'm gonna make some videos out of this, and we're gonna go from there. I'm going live every day, whether it's somebody here or not. We're gonna get this up. I'm gonna build this up from the mud.